Have you ever felt that chilling sense of unease, that creeping dread that settles deep in your bones when you realize the polished surface of someone's life, or perhaps even your own, is cracking under the weight of hidden truths? It's that moment when the carefully constructed facade begins to crumble, revealing a darkness that threatens to consume everything you thought you knew. Imagine a world where wealth and power are not shields, but rather elaborate masks concealing a desperate game of control and manipulation. A world where encrypted messages and hushed whispers carry the weight of shattered lives, and where the love you hold most dear becomes a pawn in a dangerous chess match. Perhaps you've witnessed it firsthand, the subtle dance of coercion, the veiled threats that hang unspoken in the air, the insidious ways in which someone's vulnerabilities are weaponized against them. Or maybe you've felt the suffocating grip of a secret, the constant fear of exposure that colors every interaction, every decision. It's a chilling reality, one where the lines between right and wrong blur, and where the pursuit of power eclipses all else. This journey we're about to embark on delves into that very darkness, into the heart of a world where a seemingly untouchable millionaire finds himself ensnared in a web of blackmail and deceit. But this isn't just a story about wealth and power. It's a story about the human heart, about the lengths we'll go to protect those we love, and the courage it takes to confront the shadows that lurk within ourselves and others. Think about the moments in your own life when you felt vulnerable, exposed, or manipulated. When you've questioned the motives of those around you, or when you've struggled to reconcile the image they project with the unsettling feeling in your gut. Those moments of uncertainty, of distrust, are often the first whispers of a deeper truth trying to surface. We all carry secrets, some small and inconsequential, others heavy with the weight of past traumas or unspoken fears. And while secrets can sometimes protect us, they can also become chains that bind us, preventing us from living authentically and connecting with others on a deeper level. This narrative isn't just about unraveling a plot of blackmail. It's about understanding the underlying dynamics of power and control, the ways in which fear and vulnerability can be exploited, and the importance of standing up for what's right, even when the odds seem insurmountable. Prepare to explore the complexities of human relationships, the delicate balance between trust and suspicion, and the profound impact that our choices have on the lives of those around us. We'll delve into the digital abyss where secrets are traded and lives are manipulated with the click of a button. But more importantly, we'll explore the inner landscape of a man forced to confront his own demons in order to protect the woman he loves. This is a journey into the heart of darkness, but it's also a journey towards the light. A journey towards truth, justice, and the unwavering power of love. Now, consider how this applies when you confront the insidious nature of emotional quicksand. Those relational patterns where one party slowly, almost imperceptibly, gains dominance by eroding the other's self-worth. It isn't always the overt, dramatic clash, but the subtle drip of undermining remarks, dismissive gestures, and a consistent devaluation of their partner's feelings. This corrosive process, often masked as helpful criticism or just being honest, gradually strips away the individual's confidence, leaving them dependent and vulnerable to manipulation. Imagine a sculptor meticulously chipping away at a marble statue, not to reveal its beauty, but to dismantle its integrity, piece by piece. The effect is devastating, leaving the victim feeling lost, confused, and questioning their own sanity. A crucial layer is understanding the insidious nature of gaslighting, a tactic frequently employed by those seeking control. It's the art of twisting reality, making the victim doubt their memories, perceptions, and even their own sanity. They might deny events that occurred, misrepresent conversations, or outright lie, all in an effort to destabilize their target. Think of a funhouse mirror distorting your reflection until you no longer recognize yourself. The constant questioning of one's own mind leads to profound self-doubt and a crippling Dependence on the abuser's version of reality. Delving deeper, we uncover the phenomena of coercive control, a pattern of behavior designed to isolate, degrade, and dominate another person. It's not just about isolated incidents of abuse, but a sustained campaign to strip away the victim's autonomy and freedom. This can involve monitoring their movements, controlling their finances, dictating their social interactions, and even regulating their access to basic necessities. Visualize a spider meticulously weaving its web, slowly ensnaring its prey, tightening its grip with each strand until escape becomes impossible. The victim becomes trapped in a suffocating environment, their life dictated by the whims of their captor. Furthermore, consider the role of learned helplessness in perpetuating these cycles of abuse. When an individual repeatedly experiences negative outcomes, regardless of their actions, they may eventually give up trying to escape or change their circumstances. They come to believe that they are powerless to affect their own lives, leading to a state of resignation and despair. It's akin to a caged bird, initially struggling to break free, but eventually accepting its confinement, no longer even attempting to fly. This learned helplessness can make it incredibly difficult for victims to break free from abusive relationships, as they have lost faith in their own ability to create a better future. Conversely, the abuser often operates from a place of deep insecurity and fear. Their need to control stems from a desire to feel powerful and in control of their own lives, often stemming from past traumas or unresolved emotional wounds. They may project their own insecurities onto their victim, criticizing them for the very flaws they fear within themselves. It's like a wounded animal lashing out in fear and pain, desperately trying to protect itself from perceived threats. Understanding this dynamic, however, doesn't excuse their behavior, but it can provide insight into the underlying motivations driving their actions. Another vital aspect is recognizing the insidious nature of financial abuse, where one partner controls the other's access to money, preventing them from gaining independence or leaving the relationship. This can involve withholding funds, controlling bank accounts, sabotaging their employment, or forcing them to take on debt. Imagine a bird with clipped wings, unable to soar to freedom because its resources have been systematically taken away. Financial abuse is a potent tool of control, leaving the victim feeling trapped and powerless. Now visualize the other side of the looking glass, the individual who perpetrates these acts of control. Seldom are they the cartoonish villains of fiction. More often, they are individuals wrestling with their own inner demons, projecting their insecurities onto those closest to them. Picture a cracked mirror, reflecting a distorted image of self, desperately seeking validation by manipulating the reflections of others. Their motivations, while reprehensible, often stem from a profound fear of abandonment, a deep-seated need to feel powerful, or a desperate attempt to control a world that feels chaotic and unpredictable. Considering this, ponder the intricate dance of denial and justification that often accompanies this behavior. The perpetrator may genuinely believe they are acting in the best interest of their victim, rationalizing their actions as tough love or necessary discipline. They might minimize the harm they inflict, downplaying the emotional toll on their partner, or even blaming the victim for provoking their behavior. Imagine a skilled magician diverting attention away from the sleight of hand, creating an illusion that masks the reality of their actions. This self-deception allows them to maintain a sense of moral superiority, shielding them from the uncomfortable truth of their own abusive tendencies. In addition, think about the role of societal norms and cultural expectations in perpetuating these patterns of control. Traditional gender roles, for instance, can reinforce the idea that men should be dominant and women should be submissive, creating an environment where abusive behavior is normalized or even excused. Consider a stage play where actors are assigned specific roles and expected to adhere to a predetermined script, even if it perpetuates harmful stereotypes. Challenging these deeply ingrained beliefs is essential to dismantling the systems that enable abuse to thrive. To illustrate further, contemplate how isolation becomes a key tactic in maintaining control. By cutting off their victim from friends, family, and other sources of support, the abuser creates a situation of dependence and vulnerability. They might spread rumors, create conflicts, or simply discourage their partner from spending time with others, gradually eroding their social network. Visualize a lone tree, standing isolated in a barren landscape, exposed to the elements and deprived of the nurturing support of a forest. This isolation makes it far more difficult for the victim to seek help or escape the abusive situation. By the same token, contemplate the subtle ways in which technology can be used to exert control. Monitoring their partner's phone calls, text messages, and social media activity, tracking their location via GPS, or even installing spyware on their computer, can all be used to create a climate of fear and intimidation. Imagine a surveillance camera constantly recording every move, creating a sense of being watched and controlled at all times. This technological intrusion further erodes the victim's privacy and autonomy, making it even harder to break free. Likewise, bear in mind that victims often stay in abusive relationships for a variety of complex reasons, including fear, financial dependence, lack of support, and a belief that they can change their abuser. They may also be experiencing Stockholm Syndrome, a psychological phenomenon in which hostages develop positive feelings towards their captors. Picture a captive bird gradually becoming attached to its cage, losing the desire to fly free. Understanding these complex dynamics is crucial to providing effective support and empowering victims to reclaim their lives. Now let's pivot to the crucial domain of establishing communicative safeguards within relationships touched by suspicion or veiled coercion. Paramount is fostering a climate where voicing concerns, even those laced with doubt, becomes not just tolerated, but actively encouraged. Imagine a sanctuary, its doors always ajar, inviting open dialogue without fear of reprisal or judgment. This requires demonstrable empathy, a willingness to genuinely listen without interrupting, and a commitment to validating the other person's feelings, even if you don't fully comprehend them. To that end, contemplate the value of radical candor, a communication style that balances honesty with compassion. It's about delivering difficult truths with kindness and respect, focusing on the behavior rather than attacking the person's character. Think of a skilled surgeon wielding a scalpel with precision and care, excising the harmful element while minimizing collateral damage. This approach requires courage and vulnerability, but it can be immensely effective in fostering trust and promoting growth. Expanding on this, it's essential to define clear boundaries and articulate them assertively. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect our emotional, physical, and mental well-being. They are not meant to be walls that isolate us from others, but rather fences that define what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior. Consider a meticulously maintained garden, where each plant is carefully pruned and supported, ensuring its health and vitality. Similarly, clear boundaries allow us to cultivate healthy relationships, where our needs are respected and our autonomy is preserved. In the same vein, it's vitally important to develop a safety word or phrase that can be used to signal distress or discomfort during a conversation. This allows individuals to express their unease without having to explicitly explain their feelings, which can be particularly useful in situations where they feel intimidated or threatened. Picture a hidden alarm button, ready to be activated at a moment's notice, providing a discreet way to call for help. This simple tool can empower individuals to assert their boundaries and protect themselves from emotional harm. By comparison, consider the power of nonviolent communication, NVC, a method that emphasizes empathy, honesty, and a focus on needs rather than judgments. NVC involves expressing your observations, feelings, needs, and requests without blaming or criticizing the other person. It's like building a bridge, connecting two individuals through mutual understanding and respect. This approach can be particularly helpful in de-escalating conflict and fostering a sense of connection, even in challenging situations. Another vital facet is the practice of active listening, which involves paying close attention to what the other person is saying, both verbally and non-verbally, and reflecting back to them your understanding of their message. This demonstrates that you are truly listening and that you care about their feelings. Think of a skilled translator, accurately conveying the nuances of one language to another, ensuring that the message is understood with clarity and precision. Active listening can help to build trust and create a safe space for open communication. As another thought, explore the utility of journaling as a tool for processing emotions and clarifying thoughts. Writing down your feelings can help you to identify patterns of behavior, understand your own needs, and develop strategies for coping with difficult situations. It's like creating a personal roadmap, guiding you through the complexities of your inner landscape. Journaling can provide a sense of clarity and control, empowering you to navigate challenging relationships with greater awareness and resilience. Now consider how the quest for authentic connection diverges from the path of mere transactional agreement. True love thrives not in the sterile environment of perfectly balanced ledgers, but in the fertile ground of shared vulnerability and reciprocal empathy. It is a dance of souls, not a business negotiation. Think of two trees intertwined at their roots, drawing sustenance from one another, their branches reaching skyward in a shared aspiration for sunlight. This symbiotic relationship flourishes because each tree offers something unique, contributing to the overall health and vitality of the forest. Conversely, the pursuit of conditional affection often masquerades as love, yet it is ultimately a form of emotional bartering. "I will love you if ... becomes the unspoken mantra, creating a climate of anxiety and insecurity. Imagine a delicate mobile, perfectly balanced with carefully placed weights, yet constantly threatened by the slightest breeze. The fear of upsetting the equilibrium prevents genuine expression and stifles authentic connection. Moreover, real partnership flourishes when each individual is empowered to pursue their own passions and dreams, even if those paths diverge. It is about supporting one another's growth, not stifling it in the name of conformity. Consider two rivers flowing side by side, each carving its own unique course through the landscape, yet ultimately converging to form a mighty delta. This confluence of individual journeys creates a richer, more vibrant tapestry of shared experience. Along this vein, the capacity for forgiveness becomes paramount in navigating the inevitable storms of life. Holding on to grudges and resentments only poisons the well of intimacy, preventing healing and growth. Think of releasing a flock of captive birds, allowing them to soar freely into the open sky, unburdened by the weight of past transgressions. This act of liberation not only frees the birds, but also lightens the heart of the one who releases them. Expanding on this, examine the transformational power of embracing imperfection, both in ourselves and in our partners. Striving for an unattainable ideal only leads to disappointment and self-criticism. Imagine a handcrafted vase, its unique imperfections adding to its charm and character. It is in these irregularities that we find beauty and authenticity. As a further thought, explore the liberation that arises from relinquishing the need to control the outcome of the relationship. Trusting in the process, even when the future is uncertain, allows for spontaneity and joy to flourish. Consider a sailboat navigating the open sea, guided by the wind and the currents, embracing the unpredictable nature of the voyage. It is in this surrender to the unknown that we discover the true freedom of the open water. Finally, note that genuine affection necessitates a dedication to self-compassion. tending to our own emotional well-being so that we can show up fully for our partners. Neglecting our own needs ultimately depletes our capacity to give and receive love. Think of a wellspring, constantly replenished by its source, providing a continuous flow of fresh water to nourish the surrounding landscape. Caring for ourselves allows us to become a source of strength and support for those we love. Now, contemplate the subtle art of reclaiming personal agency amid a whirlwind of external pressures and manipulative tactics. It's not about erecting impenetrable fortresses, but about cultivating an inner sanctuary of self-awareness and unwavering conviction. Visualize a lighthouse standing firm against the tempestuous sea, its beacon illuminating the path for those navigating treacherous waters. This inner resilience allows you to weather any storm, guided by your own internal compass. Accordingly, consider the importance of redefining success on your own terms, divorced from the metrics imposed by societal expectations or the desires of others. It's about aligning your actions with your core values, not chasing an elusive mirage of external validation. Picture a master sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble, not to replicate a pre-existing form, but to reveal the unique beauty that lies within the stone itself. This self-defined purpose becomes your bedrock, fueling your decisions and providing a sense of intrinsic worth. To that end, recognize that setting healthy limits is not an act of selfishness, but an act of self-preservation. It's about safeguarding your emotional and mental resources, ensuring that you have the energy to pursue your own goals and nurture your own well-being. Think of a gardener, carefully tending to their plants, providing them with the necessary nutrients and protecting them from harmful pests. These limits act as a protective shield, allowing you to thrive in a healthy and sustainable way. By the same token, embrace the power of detachment from outcomes, recognizing that you cannot control the actions or reactions of others. Focus instead on cultivating your own inner peace and responding with wisdom and compassion, regardless of the circumstances. Imagine a seasoned chess player anticipating their opponent's moves, but remaining unperturbed by their choices, focusing instead on executing their own strategy with precision and grace. This detachment allows you to navigate challenging situations with equanimity and resilience. Furthermore, challenge the internal narratives that perpetuate self-doubt and limiting beliefs. These are often echoes of past experiences or the voices of others, not reflections of your true potential. Consider a skilled musician, silencing the inner critic that whispers doubts about their abilities, allowing their talent to shine through with confidence and passion. This self-belief becomes your superpower, empowering you to overcome obstacles and achieve your goals. Along this line, appreciate the value of seeking guidance from trusted mentors or therapists who can provide objective perspectives and support your journey of self-discovery. These individuals can act as sounding boards, helping you to clarify your thoughts, identify blind spots, and develop effective coping mechanisms. Picture a seasoned mountain guide, leading you safely through treacherous terrain, providing expert advice and encouragement along the way. This support system can be invaluable in navigating complex challenges and reclaiming your personal agency. In similar fashion, nurture your physical well-being through exercise, healthy eating, and sufficient rest. These practices not only enhance your physical health, but also boost your mood, reduce stress, and improve your overall sense of well-being. Think of a finely tuned instrument requiring regular maintenance to perform at its best. Taking care of your body allows you to approach life with renewed energy and vitality. Now let's explore the prospect of cultivating inner serenity amidst the swirling vortex of deceit and manipulation. It's less about constructing impregnable defenses and more about nurturing an interior oasis of self-acceptance and unwavering resolve. Picture a seasoned navigator, skillfully charting their course through turbulent seas, their gaze fixed on the distant horizon, undeterred by the buffeting winds and crashing waves. This intrinsic fortitude empowers you to endure any adversity, steered by your own moral compass. Subsequently, contemplate the significance of recalibrating success according to your individual standards, irrespective of the benchmarks dictated by societal norms or the yearnings of others. It centers on aligning your actions with your fundamental principles, rather than chasing an illusory phantom of external affirmation. Visualize a skilled calligrapher, meticulously crafting each stroke, not to replicate a standardized template, but to unveil the inherent beauty that resides within the characters themselves. This self-ordained aspiration becomes your cornerstone, galvanizing your choices and fostering a sense of inherent worth. To that end, it's worth observing that instituting salutary boundaries isn't an act of egotism, but a gesture of self-regard. It's about safeguarding your emotional and intellectual resources, ensuring you possess the vitality to pursue your individual ambitions and foster your personal well-being. Imagine a curator carefully tending to their collection, furnishing them with the requisite conditions and shielding them from destructive elements. These safeguards function as a protective bulwark, enabling you to flourish in a wholesome and sustainable manner. On a parallel note, embrace the potency of detaching from results, acknowledging that you lack dominion over the deeds or responses of others. Instead, concentrate on nurturing your own inner tranquility and reacting with acumen and empathy, irrespective of the situation. Envision an accomplished martial artist, anticipating their adversaries' maneuvers, yet remaining unruffled by their decisions, focusing rather on executing their own tactic with precision and finesse. This detachment permits you to navigate demanding circumstances with composure and resilience. In furtherance, contest the ingrained narratives that perpetuate self-mistrust and restrictive convictions. These are often vestiges of prior encounters, or the pronouncements of others, not portrayals of your veritable aptitude. Consider a gifted thespian, silencing the internal detractor that whispers misgivings about their capabilities, permitting their talent to radiate through with assurance and zeal. This self-assurance becomes your asset, equipping you to surmount impediments and realize your aims. Along this trajectory, grasp the merit of soliciting counsel from reliable confidants or therapists who can impart impartial viewpoints and champion your expedition of self-awareness. These individuals can act as sounding boards, assisting you to elucidate your thoughts, pinpoint weak spots, and cultivate operative coping mechanisms. Imagine a practiced alpinist ushering you securely across perilous terrain, rendering adept guidance and encouragement en route. This support matrix can prove invaluable in traversing intricate trials and reclaiming your individual agency. In similar fashion, bolster your physical robustness through exercise, wholesome nourishment, and adequate repose. These routines not only augment your somatic health, but also elevate your disposition, mitigate anxiety, and ameliorate your overarching sense of wellness. Think of a precision timepiece, mandating periodic upkeep to function optimally. Attending to your body empowers you to confront existence with reinvigorated stamina and dynamism. Turning our attention now, let's consider the vital skill of discerning authenticity amid a landscape rife with pretense and calculated maneuvers. It's not about becoming a cynical skeptic, but about honing your intuition and cultivating a discerning eye for subtle inconsistencies. Picture a gemologist skillfully examining a precious stone, scrutinizing its facets and inclusions to determine its true value and detect any hidden flaws. This refined perception empowers you to navigate social interactions with greater confidence and avoid being deceived by appearances. Dovetailing with this, there's the importance of fostering a robust sense of self-worth that's anchored to your intrinsic qualities, rather than contingent on external validation or the approval of others. It's about recognizing your inherent value as a human being, regardless of your accomplishments or perceived shortcomings. Visualize a mighty oak tree, its roots firmly grounded in the earth, weathering countless storms with unwavering stability. This unshakable self-belief becomes your shield, protecting you from the corrosive effects of manipulation and undermining. Expanding on this notion, it's critical to cultivate emotional intelligence, which involves recognizing, understanding, and managing your own emotions, as well as understanding the emotions of others. This awareness allows you to respond to situations with greater empathy and navigate interpersonal dynamics with increased finesse. Think of a skilled orchestra conductor harmonizing the diverse instruments and personalities within the ensemble to create a cohesive and moving performance. This emotional mastery enables you to build stronger relationships and avoid being swept away by the emotional currents of others. Similarly, it's wise to embrace the power of silence and observation, resisting the urge to immediately react or respond to every provocation. Taking a step back to assess the situation allows you to gather more information and make more informed decisions. Imagine a seasoned wildlife photographer patiently observing their subject from a distance, waiting for the perfect moment to capture its essence. This deliberate pause allows you to respond with greater clarity and avoid being manipulated into impulsive actions. As a contrasting point, there's value in developing a strong moral compass, guided by your personal values and principles. This internal ethical framework provides a clear sense of right and wrong, helping you to make decisions that align with your conscience. Picture a seasoned sailor navigating by the stars, relying on their knowledge of the celestial bodies to stay on course. This internal guidance system allows you to remain true to yourself, even when facing difficult choices or moral dilemmas. On the other hand, it's worthwhile to nurture your creativity and imagination, allowing you to think outside the box and generate innovative solutions to complex problems. This resourcefulness empowers you to challenge assumptions, question conventional wisdom, and find new ways to overcome obstacles. Imagine a visionary inventor dreaming up groundbreaking technologies that transform the world. This inventive spirit allows you to adapt to changing circumstances and find creative solutions to the challenges you face. As a final thought, consider the significance of cultivating a strong support network of friends, family, or mentors who can provide encouragement, guidance, and a safe space to share your experiences. These relationships offer a vital source of emotional support and can help you to maintain perspective during challenging times. Think of a team of mountain climbers supporting each other as they ascend a treacherous peak, offering encouragement and assistance along the way. This collaborative spirit strengthens your resilience and helps you to navigate difficult situations with greater ease. Let's now examine the strategic deployment of counterintelligence within interpersonal dynamics, especially when grappling with an adversary skilled in obfuscation and psychological gamesmanship. It's less about adopting a posture of perpetual suspicion and more about cultivating astute observation and calculated responses. Picture a seasoned chess grandmaster envisioning multiple moves ahead, anticipating their opponent's gambits while safeguarding their own king. This foresight allows you to navigate complex interactions with enhanced awareness and mitigate potential threats. Pivoting from that image, we see the merit in cultivating a network of trusted confidence individuals possessing both discretion and acumen who can serve as impartial analysts of situations where your judgment might be clouded by emotional involvement. Their objective perspective can illuminate blind spots and provide invaluable counsel. Imagine a squadron of skilled pilots, each monitoring the others' instruments and providing course corrections to ensure the entire formation reaches its destination safely. This collaborative vigilance provides a crucial buffer against manipulation and deception. Moreover, it becomes imperative to meticulously document all interactions, particularly those involving contentious exchanges or veiled threats. Records including dates, times, specific statements, and contextual details can serve as irrefutable evidence should the need arise to challenge false narratives or seek legal recourse. Envision a forensic accountant meticulously tracing every transaction to uncover fraudulent activity and expose financial malfeasance. This meticulous record-keeping provides a factual foundation for asserting your truth and protecting your interests. Shifting our attention, we must also consider the strategic use of controlled disclosures. Revealing carefully curated information, rather than complete transparency, can serve as a probe to gauge the other party's reactions and intentions. Observe their responses for inconsistencies, evasions, or attempts to deflect. These can offer telling insights into their underlying motives. Picture a skilled diplomat strategically releasing select details of a negotiation to test the waters and assess the other side's willingness to compromise. This measured approach allows you to gather intelligence without compromising your own position. Conversely, there exists strategic value in employing tactical ambiguity when responding to manipulative inquiries or attempts at emotional coercion. Vague or non-committal answers can deny the other party the satisfaction of eliciting a desired reaction, thereby frustrating their efforts to control the narrative. Think of a seasoned poker player maintaining a poker face to conceal their emotions and prevent their opponents from gaining an advantage. This calculated inscrutability can disarm your adversary and maintain your psychological advantage. Another crucial layer is the proactive identification and mitigation of potential vulnerabilities that could be exploited by a manipulative individual. This involves a candid self-assessment of your emotional triggers, insecurities, and areas where you are susceptible to flattery or guilt-tripping. Consider a cybersecurity expert, meticulously scanning a computer system for potential weaknesses and implementing safeguards to prevent unauthorized access. Addressing these vulnerabilities proactively strengthens your defenses and reduces your susceptibility to manipulation. Finally, a vital element involves cultivating a robust sense of humor and the ability to find levity even in challenging circumstances. This can serve as a powerful tool for diffusing tense situations, disrupting manipulative tactics, and maintaining a sense of perspective. Imagine a stand-up comedian using wit and satire to expose hypocrisy and challenge authority. This ability to laugh in the face of adversity can empower you to maintain your equilibrium and resist being drawn into emotional turmoil. Now let's investigate the subtle art of shielding loved ones from the fallout of another's manipulative schemes, a task demanding both profound empathy and strategic acumen. This isn't about constructing an impenetrable wall of secrecy, but rather about creating a haven of emotional safety and informed consent. Imagine a seasoned shepherd guiding their flock through a treacherous landscape, shielding them from predators while allowing them the freedom to graze. This protective stewardship requires a delicate balance of intervention and autonomy, empowering your loved ones to make their own informed choices while minimizing their exposure to harm. Correspondingly, it is crucial to cultivate open lines of communication with those potentially targeted, fostering an environment where they feel safe disclosing their experiences without fear of judgment or disbelief. Normalize discussions about manipulative behaviors, providing them with the vocabulary and awareness to recognize and articulate their concerns. Think of a skilled educator equipping their students with the critical thinking skills to analyze information and identify propaganda. This empowerment through knowledge provides a powerful defense against manipulation. Distinct from directly revealing details, consider employing inoculation theory, gradually exposing your loved ones to mild doses of the manipulative individual's tactics. This allows them to develop resilience and resistance to those tactics in a controlled environment, minimizing the risk of being overwhelmed by a full-blown assault. Visualize a physician administering a vaccine, introducing a weakened form of a disease to stimulate the body's immune response. This carefully calibrated exposure builds immunity and prevents future harm. In a markedly different vein, it becomes vital to establish clear boundaries around your own involvement in the manipulative dynamic. Overprotecting or attempting to rescue your loved ones can inadvertently perpetuate their dependence on the manipulator, hindering their own growth and empowerment. Picture a skilled athletic coach providing guidance and support while allowing their athletes to take ownership of their training and performance. This balanced approach fosters independence and resilience. Further, it is prudent to document any instances of manipulation or harassment directed at your loved ones, gathering evidence that could be used to support legal action or protective orders if necessary. This meticulous record-keeping provides a tangible basis for challenging the manipulator's behavior and seeking appropriate remedies. Envision a dedicated investigative journalist meticulously collecting evidence to expose wrongdoing, hold perpetrators accountable. This commitment to truth and justice provides a powerful safeguard against abuse. On a separate note, it's beneficial to encourage your loved ones to seek support from therapists, counselors, or support groups who specialize in dealing with manipulative relationships. These professionals can provide objective guidance and coping strategies, empowering them to navigate the situation with greater clarity and resilience. Think of a skilled architect providing blueprints and structural support to ensure the stability and integrity of a building. This professional guidance provides a solid foundation for healing and recovery. Finally, it bears remembering the importance of modeling healthy relationship behaviors in your own life, demonstrating respect, empathy, and assertive communication. This provides your loved ones with a positive example to emulate and reinforces the importance of valuing their own boundaries and well-being. Imagine a dedicated parent teaching their children valuable life lessons through their own actions and example. This authentic modeling provides a powerful influence and promotes healthy relationship dynamics. Now let's delve into the intricate dance of disengagement from a manipulative entanglement, an endeavor demanding both resolute fortitude and a meticulously crafted strategy. This isn't merely about severing ties, but rather about reclaiming your sovereignty and ensuring a clean break from the ensnaring influence. Imagine a seasoned mountaineer carefully detaching themselves from a precarious ice wall, securing each point of contact before releasing the previous one. This methodical approach guarantees a safe descent and prevents a catastrophic fall. In a similar vein, it's vital to establish a gray rock strategy, rendering yourself as uninteresting and unreactive as possible to the manipulator's attempts at engagement. Minimize emotional responses, avoid sharing personal information, and limit interactions to only essential matters. Think of a weathered, unremarkable stone blending seamlessly into the landscape, offering nothing of value to attract attention. This deliberate blandness can effectively deter the manipulator's interest and diminish their motivation to engage. To augment this, consider the strategic employment of structured contact, limiting interactions to specific times, places, and formats, while strictly adhering to predetermined agendas. This prevents the manipulator from diverting the conversation, introducing emotional appeals, or creating opportunities for manipulation. Picture a tightly controlled scientific experiment where every variable is carefully monitored and manipulated to isolate the effects of a specific treatment. This structured environment minimizes the potential for unwanted interference and ensures a predictable outcome. In stark contrast, there exists a potent need to fortify your support system, actively cultivating connections with individuals who offer genuine empathy, unconditional acceptance, and unwavering encouragement. These relationships provide a crucial counterbalance to the manipulator's negativity and reinforce your sense of self-worth. Envision a robust scaffolding system providing stability and support during the construction of a towering skyscraper. This network of positive relationships provides a strong foundation for resilience and recovery. Expanding on this, it's important to arm yourself with legal and financial safeguards, consulting with attorneys and financial advisors to protect your assets and ensure your rights are protected. This proactive approach can prevent the manipulator from exploiting your vulnerabilities or causing irreparable harm. Think of a well-defended castle, equipped with sturdy walls, vigilant guards, and a clear legal framework to protect its inhabitants. This comprehensive protection provides peace of mind and security. As an additional measure, carefully document all communications and interactions with the manipulator, preserving evidence of their behavior for future reference. This can be invaluable in protecting yourself against false accusations, defending your actions, or seeking legal recourse. Picture a skilled historian, meticulously archiving primary source documents to reconstruct a detailed and accurate account of past events. This comprehensive record provides a factual basis for asserting your truth and protecting your reputation. Finally, it's imperative to prioritize self-care, engaging in activities that nurture your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. This can include exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, pursuing hobbies, or engaging in creative expression. Imagine a skilled gardener tending to their own garden with care and attention, ensuring that it flourishes and provides a source of beauty and tranquility. This commitment to self-care replenishes your energy, strengthens your resilience, and empowers you to navigate the challenges of disengagement with grace and fortitude. Now, ponder the vital role of cultivating personal autonomy as a potent antidote to the insidious effects of emotional blackmail. This involves more than just asserting independence. It necessitates constructing a life imbued with purpose, passion, and fulfilling activities that exist entirely outside the sphere of influence wielded by the manipulator. Consider a celebrated artisan absorbed in their craft, deriving immense satisfaction from the act of creation, their sense of self-worth intrinsically linked to their artistry, rather than the capricious whims of external approval. This inner reservoir of fulfillment acts as an unassailable fortress, rendering them impervious to the corrosive barbs of emotional coercion. In close connection, we observe the strategic implementation of cognitive restructuring, a technique designed to challenge and dismantle the distorted thought patterns that often underpin susceptibility to manipulation. This involves identifying negative self-talk, questioning the validity of limiting beliefs, and replacing them with more constructive and empowering narratives. Imagine a skilled architect meticulously reviewing a building's blueprints, identifying structural weaknesses and reinforcing them with innovative designs. This mental reframing strengthens your psychological foundation and enhances your resilience to manipulative tactics. Correspondingly, it becomes paramount to cultivate a discerning awareness of your own emotional triggers, those specific situations, phrases, or behaviors that tend to elicit strong emotional reactions. By understanding these triggers, you can develop proactive strategies for managing your responses and preventing the manipulator from exploiting your vulnerabilities. Envision a seasoned meteorologist, carefully monitoring atmospheric conditions, anticipating approaching storms, and issuing timely warnings to minimize potential damage. This emotional preparedness allows you to navigate challenging interactions with greater composure and self-control. Different from preemptive action, there's value in mastering the art of strategic detachment, consciously distancing yourself from the emotional turbulence generated by the manipulator's actions. This involves recognizing that their behavior is a reflection of their own internal struggles, rather than a commentary on your worth or value. Picture a skilled martial artist gracefully deflecting an opponent's attack, using their momentum against them without becoming entangled in the conflict. This emotional distancing allows you to maintain your equilibrium and prevent being drawn into their drama. As a related point, There exists the strategic advantage of cultivating alternative sources of validation and support, actively seeking out relationships with individuals who offer genuine affirmation, unconditional acceptance, and unwavering encouragement. These connections provide a crucial counterbalance to the manipulator's negativity and reinforce your sense of self-worth. Envision a vibrant ecosystem with diverse species thriving in symbiotic harmony, each contributing to the overall health and resilience of the community. This tapestry of positive relationships provides a nurturing environment for growth and recovery. Building on this concept, it's beneficial to establish clear and enforceable consequences for manipulative behavior, communicating these boundaries, assertively and consistently upholding them, regardless of the manipulator's reactions. This demonstrates your commitment to self-respect and sends a powerful message that their attempts at control will not be tolerated. Think of a dedicated judge impartially enforcing the law, holding individuals accountable for their actions, and upholding the principles of justice. This consistent application of consequences deters future transgressions and protects your boundaries. Lastly, there's the need to prioritize self-compassion, treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and forgiveness, particularly during moments of vulnerability or setback. Recognize that you are human, that you will make mistakes, and that you deserve to be treated with the same compassion you would offer to a dear friend. Imagine a nurturing caregiver, tending to a wounded animal with gentle hands, providing comfort and support during its recovery. This self-compassion replenishes your emotional reserves and empowers you to navigate the challenges of disengagement with grace and resilience. Now reflect on the significance of cultivating a sovereign emotional space, a mental sanctuary, shielded from external manipulation where your feelings are validated, understood, and honored, irrespective of external pressures. It's akin to a meticulously tended Zen garden, a tranquil oasis where serenity prevails, undisturbed by the clamor of the external world. This sanctuary affords you the liberty to process emotions without succumbing to the coercive demands or judgmental pronouncements of others. With this in mind, examine the potential of employing affirmative self-talk as a bulwark against the insidious erosion of self-esteem that often accompanies emotional duress. This involves intentionally replacing self-deprecating or self-doubting internal dialogues with declarations of self-worth, competence, and resilience. Picture a skilled composer meticulously crafting a melody, carefully layering harmonies to create a resonant and uplifting symphony. This internal composition bolsters your psychological fortitude and cultivates an unwavering belief in your inherent value. In addition to this strategy, it's important to develop a refined capacity for discerning the underlying motives behind the manipulative individual's actions, recognizing that their behavior often stems from deep-seated insecurities, unresolved traumas, or a desperate need for control. Understanding these motivations, while not excusing their actions, can provide a framework for detaching emotionally and responding with greater objectivity. Think of a seasoned detective meticulously piecing together clues to uncover the truth behind a complex crime, understanding the motivations of the perpetrators without condoning their actions. This analytical perspective fosters empathy without compromising your boundaries. However, we must also consider the strategic utilization of radical acceptance, acknowledging and embracing the reality of the situation, even when it is painful or unjust. This involves relinquishing the desire to change the manipulator or control their behavior, focusing instead on accepting what is and taking proactive steps to protect yourself. It's akin to a skilled sailor navigating treacherous waters, accepting the unpredictable nature of the sea while skillfully adjusting their sails to maintain their course. This acceptance allows you to conserve your energy and focus on what you can control, your own actions and responses. Moreover, it is beneficial to cultivate a diversified portfolio of personal interests and activities that provide joy, fulfillment, and a sense of accomplishment entirely independent of the manipulative individual. This reduces your reliance on them for validation and reinforces your sense of self-worth. Picture a skilled investor diversifying their portfolio across multiple asset classes to mitigate risk and maximize returns. This diversified approach strengthens your psychological resilience and reduces your vulnerability to emotional manipulation. On a related note, it's wise to establish clear and inviolable digital boundaries, limiting your exposure to the manipulators online. Presence: unfollowing them on social media and blocking their contact information if necessary. This creates a buffer against their attempts at intrusion and allows you to reclaim your digital space. Think of a skilled architect designing a building with carefully planned security measures to protect its occupants from unauthorized access. These digital boundaries safeguard your emotional well-being and prevent further harm. Finally, take into account the significance of nurturing your spiritual well-being, connecting with something larger than yourself, whether through organized religion, meditation, spending time in nature, or engaging in acts of service. This provides a sense of perspective, meaning, and purpose that can help you to navigate the challenges of disengagement with greater resilience and grace. Imagine a skilled navigator using a compass to stay oriented and maintain their course, even when surrounded by fog or darkness. This spiritual grounding provides a sense of direction and purpose, guiding you through the challenges of life with unwavering resolve. Now, contemplate the deliberate fostering of cognitive empathy, a capability extending beyond mere emotional resonance to encompass an intellectual grasp of the manipulator's psychological framework. This involves endeavoring to comprehend their ingrained belief systems, their recurring behavioral patterns, and the underlying anxieties fueling their coercive tactics. Picture a skilled negotiator meticulously studying the opposing parties' history, motivations, and negotiating style, allowing them to anticipate their moves and craft persuasive arguments. This intellectual understanding furnishes you with invaluable insights into their vulnerabilities, enabling you to sidestep their strategies and safeguard your emotional well-being more effectively. Correspondingly, it becomes crucial to cultivate a robust sense of existential resilience, a profound acceptance of life's inherent uncertainties, impermanence, and inevitable imperfections. This involves relinquishing the illusion of control and embracing the present moment with equanimity, recognizing that challenges are an intrinsic part of the human experience. Think of an accomplished sailor navigating turbulent seas, accepting the unpredictable nature of the ocean, while skillfully adjusting their sails to maintain course. This acceptance empowers you to weather any storm, knowing that you possess the inner resources to navigate even the most daunting circumstances. In a somewhat different vein, we observe the strategic implementation of values clarification, a process designed to identify, articulate, and prioritize your core values, those deeply held beliefs that guide your decisions and shape your sense of purpose. By aligning your actions with these values, you enhance your internal coherence and strengthen your resolve to resist external pressures that conflict with your authentic self. Imagine a master craftsman meticulously selecting materials that align with their aesthetic vision and ethical principles, ensuring that their creations reflect their core values and contribute positively to the world. This values-driven approach provides a solid foundation for integrity and self-respect. On a related note, there's the strategic advantage of cultivating emotional granularity, expanding your vocabulary for describing feelings beyond simple labels like happy or sad. By articulating a wider range of nuanced emotions, such as content, hopeful, disappointed, or anxious, you gain a deeper understanding of your internal landscape and enhance your ability to communicate your needs effectively. Picture a skilled sommelier precisely describing the complex aromas and flavors of a fine wine, enabling others to appreciate its subtleties and nuances. This emotional literacy empowers you to navigate your inner world with greater precision and clarity. Moreover, it is beneficial to establish clear and consistent communication protocols in your interactions with the manipulator, setting ground rules for respectful dialogue, active listening, and the avoidance of manipulative tactics. This involves assertively stating your expectations and enforcing consequences when those expectations are violated. Think of a skilled project manager, establishing clear communication channels, protocols, and deadlines to ensure that the team operates efficiently and effectively. These communication protocols create a framework for respectful interaction and minimize the potential for conflict. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, take into account the significance of nurturing your inner child, acknowledging and validating the unmet needs and emotional wounds of your past. This involves treating yourself with the same compassion, understanding, and acceptance that you would offer to a vulnerable child. Imagine a loving parent cradling their child in their arms, offering comfort, reassurance, and unconditional love. This self-nurturing practice heals past wounds and fosters a sense of wholeness and self-acceptance. Now, consider how enlisting the power of narrative therapy can rewrite the scripts of your life, wresting control from the manipulator and authoring a tale of resilience and triumph. This entails externalizing the problem, viewing the manipulative behavior not as an inherent flaw within you, but as an external force acting upon you. Think of a playwright carefully dissecting a poorly written character, identifying the flaws in their motivations and rewriting their scenes to create a more compelling and authentic portrayal. This externalization allows you to distance yourself from the negativity and reclaim your agency. As a corollary, it proves worthwhile to meticulously examine your personal history, discerning patterns of vulnerability that may have rendered you susceptible to manipulative influences in the past. This is not about assigning blame, but about identifying recurring themes and developing proactive strategies for avoiding similar pitfalls in the future. Imagine an archaeologist carefully excavating a site, uncovering layers of sediment that reveal clues about the past and inform our understanding of the present. This historical perspective empowers you to break free from cyclical patterns and chart a new course. On an opposing tack, there is something to be said for cultivating a profound appreciation for solitude, learning to revel in your own company without feeling the need for external validation or approval. This self-sufficiency weakens the manipulators' leverage, as their attempts to isolate you become less effective when you genuinely enjoy your own presence. Visualize a lone wolf roaming freely through the wilderness, self-reliant and content in its own solitude. This inner peace radiates outwards, deterring those who seek to exploit your vulnerabilities. In a somewhat different light, contemplate the benefits of embracing expressive arts therapy, utilizing creative outlets such as painting, music, or dance to process emotions and communicate experiences that may be difficult to articulate verbally. This can provide a cathartic release and facilitate a deeper understanding of your inner landscape. Think of a skilled musician pouring their heart and soul into a performance, channeling their emotions into a powerful and transformative experience. This creative expression allows you to access hidden depths and release pent-up emotions in a healthy and constructive way. To continue, it may also be necessary to deliberately cultivate a growth mindset, embracing challenges as opportunities for learning and personal development, rather than viewing them as threats to your self-worth. This resilience strengthens your ability to bounce back from setbacks and prevents the manipulator from using your perceived failures against you. Picture a seasoned athlete viewing each training session as an opportunity to improve their skills, pushing their limits and embracing the challenges along the way. This growth-oriented perspective fosters resilience and empowers you to overcome obstacles. Moreover, it is often prudent to seek guidance from a certified mediator, particularly when navigating complex co-parenting arrangements or business partnerships with a manipulative individual. A skilled mediator can facilitate constructive communication, establish clear boundaries, and help you reach mutually agreeable solutions without resorting to adversarial tactics. Think of a neutral arbiter facilitating a peaceful resolution to a conflict, ensuring that all parties are heard and that a fair outcome is reached. This impartial guidance can prevent further escalation and protect your interests. Finally, and of utmost importance, bear in mind the significance of celebrating even the smallest victories along your journey of disengagement and recovery. Acknowledge your progress, no matter how incremental, and reward yourself for your efforts. This positive reinforcement reinforces your commitment to self-care and strengthens your resolve to continue moving forward. Imagine a dedicated marathon runner celebrating each mile marker along the course, acknowledging their progress and drawing strength from their accomplishments. This self-celebration fuels your motivation and empowers you to reach your ultimate goal. Now, consider the transformative potential of values-based boundary setting, where the limits you establish are not simply arbitrary rules, but rather tangible expressions of your deepest convictions. This involves articulating your core principles, perhaps integrity, compassion, or authenticity, and then defining the specific behaviors you will and will not tolerate from others, behaviors that either honor or violate these principles. Imagine a master craftsman meticulously selecting materials that align with their aesthetic vision and ethical principles, ensuring their creations reflect their core values and contribute positively to the world. This approach allows you to navigate relationships with unwavering clarity, knowing precisely where you stand and what you will defend. In parallel, it's worth exploring the power of emotional agility, a concept that goes beyond mere resilience, to encompass the capacity to adaptively navigate a wide range of emotional experiences, both positive and negative. This involves acknowledging your feelings without judgment, accepting them as valuable sources of information, and then choosing your responses consciously, rather than reacting impulsively. Picture a skilled surfer riding a massive wave skillfully, adjusting their stance and movements to maintain balance and control, adapting to the ever-changing conditions of the ocean. This emotional dexterity allows you to remain centered and grounded, even in the face of intense emotional storms. Conversely, you could benefit from mastering assertive inquiry, a communication technique that involves respectfully questioning the manipulator's motives and assumptions, rather than passively accepting their narratives. This involves asking open-ended questions that encourage them to explain their reasoning, identify the evidence supporting their claims, and acknowledge the potential consequences of their actions. Envision a skilled journalist conducting a probing interview, asking incisive questions that challenge the interviewee's assertions and expose any inconsistencies or hidden agendas. This proactive questioning can disrupt the manipulator's tactics and force them to confront the flaws in their logic. Building on this, the usefulness of cultivating relational mindfulness merits consideration. This entails approaching your interactions with the manipulator with heightened awareness, paying close attention to your own thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations, as well as the other person's verbal and nonverbal cues. By observing these subtle signals, you can detect early warning signs of manipulation and take proactive steps to protect yourself. Think of a seasoned wildlife tracker, carefully observing the tracks, scat, and other signs left behind by animals in the forest, using their knowledge to anticipate their movements and avoid potential dangers. This mindful awareness allows you to navigate relationships with greater clarity and discernment. In sharp contrast, it is equally important to cultivate the ability to gracefully exit conversations or situations that are becoming emotionally draining or manipulative. This involves developing a repertoire of polite but assertive exit strategies, such as stating a need to attend to another commitment, changing the subject, or simply ending the conversation with a firm but courteous closing. Imagine a skilled dancer gracefully exiting a dance partnership when the connection is no longer harmonious, transitioning smoothly into a new rhythm and movement. This ability to disengage gracefully allows you to protect your energy and avoid being drawn into unproductive or harmful interactions. As a final thought, it's of paramount importance to remember the power of self-validation, the act of acknowledging and affirming your own worth, feelings, and experiences, independent of external approval. This involves treating yourself with the same kindness, compassion, and understanding that you would offer to a dear friend, recognizing that you are inherently worthy of love, respect, and happiness. Picture a nurturing parent, cradling their child in their arms, offering unconditional love and acceptance, regardless of their flaws or imperfections. This self-validation strengthens your inner core and empowers you to navigate the challenges of life with unwavering resilience. Now envision how strategically employing emotional Aikido can deflect manipulative thrusts, redirecting the aggressor's energy without engaging in direct confrontation. This involves acknowledging their feelings and perspectives, but then seamlessly pivoting to assert your own needs and boundaries. Picture a seasoned martial artist using their opponent's momentum to throw them off balance, rather than engaging in a head-on collision. This delicate dance of acknowledgement and redirection can disarm the manipulator and prevent them from gaining control. To expand on this notion, let's consider how cultivating psychological hardiness can serve as a bulwark against the corrosive effects of emotional coercion. This involves developing a constellation of character traits, including a sense of control over one's life, a commitment to meaningful activities, and a willingness to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Imagine a deep-sea diver, equipped with a sturdy suit and a reliable oxygen supply, venturing into the depths of the ocean, undeterred by the pressure and the darkness. This psychological armor provides a protective shield against the manipulative tactics of others. Then again, it may be advantageous to explore the practice of mindful dissent, articulating your disagreement with the manipulator's assertions in a respectful but firm manner, while remaining grounded in your own values and beliefs. This involves expressing your perspective without resorting to personal attacks or emotional outbursts, focusing instead on presenting logical arguments and supporting evidence. Think of a skilled debater presenting a well-reasoned counter-argument, respectfully challenging their opponent's claims while maintaining their composure and credibility. This assertive dissent can disrupt the manipulator's narrative and prevent them from dominating the conversation. In a slightly divergent vein, it's equally valuable to foster what some experts term compassionate detachment, a state where you can empathize with the manipulator's underlying struggles without condoning their harmful behaviors or allowing them to infringe upon your boundaries. This requires recognizing that their actions are often driven by deep-seated insecurities or unresolved traumas, but that you are not responsible for fixing them or absorbing their negativity. Visualize a trained therapist listening empathetically to a patient's story, offering support and guidance without becoming emotionally entangled in their problems. This compassionate distance allows you to maintain your own well-being while offering support from a safe and healthy distance. Another crucial layer is the development of proactive self-soothing techniques, employing strategies to regulate your emotions and reduce stress levels before, during, and after interacting with the manipulator. This can involve engaging in mindfulness exercises, practicing deep breathing, listening to calming music, or spending time in nature. Think of a skilled pilot performing pre-flight checks to ensure the aircraft is in optimal condition, preparing for any potential turbulence or unexpected challenges. This proactive self-care allows you to approach difficult interactions with greater calmness and resilience. Furthermore, it is often beneficial to seek out peer support, connecting with other individuals who have experienced similar forms of manipulation or abuse. Sharing your experiences and receiving validation from others can provide a sense of community, reduce feelings of isolation, and offer valuable insights and coping strategies. Imagine a support group for survivors of trauma where individuals can share their stories, offer encouragement, and find solace in the knowledge that they are not alone. This shared experience fosters healing and empowers individuals to reclaim their lives. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, appreciate the significance of celebrating personal milestones, no matter how small, along your path of healing and self-discovery. Acknowledge your progress, honor your courage, and reward yourself for your efforts. This positive reinforcement cultivates self-compassion and strengthens your commitment to creating a life filled with joy, purpose, and authentic connection. Picture a dedicated artist celebrating the completion of each painting, acknowledging their creativity and skill, and sharing their work with the world. This self-celebration fuels your passion and empowers you to continue creating a life filled with beauty and meaning. Now let's explore how cultivating contextual intelligence can illuminate the hidden dimensions within manipulative interactions. This transcends simple awareness. It's the ability to discern the broader social, cultural, and historical forces shaping the other person's behavior. For instance, understanding that someone was raised in a household where emotional expression was suppressed might shed light on their current reliance on indirect, manipulative tactics to get their needs met. Visualize a skilled historian, analyzing ancient texts not only for their literal meaning, but also for the subtle nuances of the time period in which they were written, revealing the underlying social and political currents that influenced their creation. This expanded perspective fosters empathy without condoning the behavior and allows you to anticipate their next move with greater accuracy. Equally crucial is the mastery of emotional regulation skills, moving beyond mere suppression to encompass a repertoire of techniques for managing the intensity and duration of your emotional responses. This involves learning to identify early warning signs of emotional escalation, employing cognitive reappraisal strategies to reframe challenging situations, and practicing self-soothing techniques to calm your nervous system. Imagine a seasoned orchestral conductor, skillfully modulating the dynamics of the music, guiding the musicians through moments of intense crescendo and delicate pianissimo, ensuring a balanced and harmonious performance. This emotional command enables you to remain centered and grounded, even when facing intense provocation. A different, but vital, consideration involves deliberately fostering cognitive flexibility, the capacity to adapt your thinking and behavior in response to changing circumstances. This involves challenging your assumptions, exploring alternative perspectives, and being willing to abandon strategies that are no longer effective. Envision a skilled improvisational actor seamlessly adapting to unexpected plot twists and audience suggestions, creating a spontaneous and engaging performance that captivates the audience. This mental agility allows you to respond creatively to manipulative tactics and avoid being trapped in rigid patterns of behavior. Further, consider that there are times when strategically employing expressive assertiveness is called for. A communication style that combines directness, honesty, and respect. This involves clearly stating your needs and boundaries, expressing your feelings without apology, and standing your ground in the face of opposition. Think of a skilled trial lawyer, presenting a compelling case to a jury, confidently articulating their client's position while remaining respectful of the court and the opposing counsel. This assertive expression can effectively deter manipulative attempts and establish your authority. In addition, it is often advantageous to cultivate a robust social support network composed of individuals who offer diverse perspectives, unconditional acceptance, and a willingness to challenge your assumptions. These relationships can provide a vital sounding board for processing your experiences and offer alternative, viewpoints that can help you to see the situation more clearly. Picture a diverse community of artists collaborating on a project, each bringing their unique skills and perspectives to the table, creating a work of art that is greater than the sum of its parts. This collaborative spirit strengthens your resilience and empowers you to navigate challenging situations with greater wisdom. Finally, remember the significance of cultivating a legacy mindset, focusing on the positive impact you want to have on the world and aligning your actions with your long-term goals. This provides a sense of purpose and meaning that transcends the immediate challenges of dealing with a manipulative individual. Imagine a dedicated philanthropist investing their time and resources in causes that align with their values, creating a lasting positive impact on the lives of others. This legacy-driven perspective empowers you to rise above the negativity and focus on creating a life filled with purpose, meaning, and lasting value. Reflecting on this journey so far, we begin to perceive the emerging contours of a profound truth that navigating the labyrinthine complexities of human interaction, particularly when shadowed by manipulative intent, demands more than just tactical maneuvering. It calls for a fundamental realignment of our inner compass, a recalibration of our inherent sense of self, and an unwavering commitment to the sanctity of our emotional boundaries. The insights gleaned are not merely disparate strategies to be deployed in isolation, but rather interconnected facets of a holistic approach to self-preservation and relational integrity. The cumulative effect of these explorations resembles the construction of a resilient vessel, each plank representing a hard-won understanding, each carefully caulked seam symbolizing a strengthened boundary. This vessel, however, is not intended for solitary confinement, but rather for navigating the shared waters of human connection, equipped to weather the storms of manipulation and to chart a course towards authentic and mutually respectful relationships. The ability to discern, to safeguard, and to disengage are not ends in themselves, but rather the means by which we cultivate a life characterized by genuine connection and uncompromised self-worth. As we pivot towards the final reflection, it becomes increasingly evident that the true battleground lies not in the external realm of manipulative tactics, but within the internal landscape of our own beliefs, vulnerabilities, and emotional responses. The power to resist coercion does not reside in mastering a repertoire of defensive maneuvers, but in cultivating an unwavering conviction in our inherent value and an unshakable commitment to honoring our own emotional needs. The challenge, therefore, is not merely to identify and neutralize manipulative behaviors, but to transform our relationship with ourselves, to become our own most steadfast ally and unwavering advocate. Drawing these strands together, we see the unfolding narrative not as a tale of victimhood and vulnerability, but as an empowering testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The capacity to learn, to adapt, and to grow, even in the face of profound adversity, is a testament to our inherent strength and potential for transformation. The path forward, therefore, is not one of fear and defensiveness, but one of courageous self-discovery, unwavering self-compassion, and a resolute commitment to creating a life characterized by authenticity, integrity, and unyielding self-respect. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer: to embrace the journey of self-discovery with open hearts and unwavering resolve, recognizing that the power to transform our lives resides not in external circumstances, but within the depths of our own being. The strategies and insights we have explored are not merely tools to be wielded, but rather keys to unlock the hidden potential within ourselves, empowering us to navigate the complexities of human relationships with grace, wisdom, and unyielding self-assurance. The final takeaway awaits, poised to illuminate the path towards a future where manipulation holds no sway and authentic connection flourishes in its place. And so we arrive at the quiet edge of the forest, having navigated its shadowed paths and deciphered the whispers carried on the wind. The journey through understanding manipulative forces has not been about learning to wield a sharper sword, but about forging a stronger heart, a heart that recognizes its own worth, its own boundaries, and its inherent right to a life free from coercion. We've explored the subtle arts of discernment, the strategic deployment of self-compassion, and the unwavering commitment to authenticity, not as isolated techniques, but as interwoven threads in the tapestry of a sovereign self. The profound implication of this exploration extends far beyond individual interactions. It touches upon the very fabric of our relationships and the societies we build. When we each commit to honoring our own emotional landscape and refusing to participate in the dance of manipulation, we create a ripple effect, fostering a culture of genuine connection, mutual respect, and unwavering integrity. The antidote to coercion is not suspicion, but vulnerability. A vulnerability grounded in self-awareness and fortified by the unwavering belief that we are worthy of love and respect, simply for being who we are. Perhaps the most enduring lesson gleaned from this journey is that the power to transform our lives lies not in changing others, but in changing ourselves. The manipulative individual, with their intricate webs of deceit and calculated maneuvers, ultimately holds no power over us unless we relinquish our own. By reclaiming our narrative, by rewriting the scripts that have defined our relationships, and by embracing a future guided by our own values, we become the authors of our own destiny, free to create lives filled with purpose, joy, and authentic connection. The true practice begins now, not as a series of defensive maneuvers, but as a conscious choice to live from a place of unwavering self-respect. It's about recognizing the whispers of your own intuition, honoring the boundaries that protect your emotional well-being, and choosing to surround yourself with relationships that nurture your soul. It's about embracing the vulnerability that allows for genuine connection, and the courage to walk away from those who seek to diminish your light. Go forth then, not as warriors armed for battle, but as beacons of authenticity, radiating the unwavering light of self-worth and inspiring others to do the same. Let your actions be guided by compassion, your words be seasoned with truth, and your life be a testament to the transformative power of self-love. For it is in the cultivation of our own inner sovereignty that we create a world where manipulation has no hold, and where genuine connection flourishes in its place. The journey is ongoing, the exploration continuous, but the foundation is now laid. A foundation built on self-awareness, self-compassion, and the unwavering belief in your own inherent worth.